What's good, people? So in today's video we're going to jump in for legs, sipping on a wee can of 3D now. Instead of just running you through the whole session and that getting quite boring, we'll just look at probably each exercise and split it up and give you a tip for each one so that you can actually take away something from the video. So let's get stuck into it. Okay, so starting the session off with lying hamstring curl, just to warm up the joints a little bit as our quad focus day, so this obviously isn't going to take away from our quad loading. Wee tip for this one is glutes. You see a lot of people doing this, trying to explode too much from the bottom, try to use too much weight, too much momentum, and their glutes will stick right up in the air. We want to make sure that we're pushing our hips into this pad before we contract. So my tip for this, try and break it down into two movements. Drive the hips in, make sure they're locked, then curl the hamstring up. You'll notice a much better contraction and much more control. It'll be way harder though, but it'll grow your hammies.
Se alza el lucero, mientras mi mano descansa con recelo sobre la reja el ocultamiento, aclara el reflejo de lo que siento.
Okay, so exercise 2, leg extension. You should have just seen set 1. We're going to set 2 now, which is going to be 12 to 15. Wee tip here for you is going to be making sure that your knees are in line with the axis rotation of the machine. It's usually highlighted a different colour. For us, we can see it's right here in between these two bolts. You need to make sure the joint is in line with that. Now, where most people go wrong with this is at the top. We've got this first to take advantage of loading the quads. Now, you're not going to be able to do that if you're just rushing through reps, banging them out. That's the most important part of the rep, is that contraction, getting the quads short. So, how to get around this? What I would do is add in a little bit of a timed pause. Doesn't need to be anything massive, just a wee second at the top. So instead of just coming up and going 1, come up, 1, Mississippi, down. Just make sure that you're in control of the contraction and also coming back out of the contraction. It's no good coming up here and then just accelerating really quickly on the way back down. Not getting any bang for your buck with that. So let's get into this.
Desde mi ventana se alza el lucero, mientras mi mano descansa con recelo sobre la reja el ocultamiento, aclara el reflejo.
Right, so main quad movement of today, leg press. This absolutely lights my quads up. It is probably the best leg press I've ever used. I'm going to go top set, 6 to 9, back off 12 to 15. Got a big man Henry looking over our set just to make sure the form's looking good. And I'm going to take this mic off so I do not ruin your eardrums.
De lo que siento.
You're almost there. Come on, drive. Couple more inches.
That's what she said.
Okay, so leg press. You would have just seen my top set and probably me bursting my balls. But main tip for this one is going to be the bottom. So you really need to control coming out that hole. A lot of people will just bounce out that position, but you really don't want to do. So again, you'll see me add a bit of a pause just so I can make sure I'm actually initiating the movement with my legs, that I'm not just bouncing and using momentum. More stimulus, more growth over a long period of time. So again, control exercises like this, get really good at controlling the bottom part, and your quads will grow. Right, so going into walking lunges, we're going to go 10 each leg weighted, and then we're going to drop dumbbells, go into body weight, and we're going to try and go into failure and just get as many as we can get. We're going to use the straps. You're probably thinking, why are you using straps? It's only 25 kilos, because it's one less thing to worry about. I don't want to have to worry about my forearms burning in my grip as I'm doing this exercise, and I'm probably not really going to be able to think about anything else. I'm going to be in so much pain towards the end of this. That's why I'm recording it now, so I don't need to lie on the ground and chat to you guys when I'm breathing out my arse. So let's get into it. We'll try and film some of it. Let's go.
Sobre la reja, el ocultamiento. Aclara el reflejo de lo que siento.
Right, so calves, we've already done a standing calf raise, so that's obviously a straight leg position. Now we've set this up, very DIY. This allows us to train in more knee flexion, which is going to target the calf slightly differently. So when you're training your calves, you want to go for a straight leg and a bent leg position, essentially. So if you've hit out of any excuses to stop training calves, because you don't have any calf machines or anything, then have a look at this. We're going to sit down on this, and it's going to allow us to go through a similar movement to just like a seated calf raise. Little tip for training your calves. Your calves have the ability to produce a lot of force when they're in that stretched position. So you want to pause when you're in that position before you press. So you want to have a good 2-second pause at the top, come down, 2-second pause in the stretch. Try and feel as though you're trying to press your heel over your toes. You're not going to be able to do that unless you break your ankle, but it's going to improve your contractions.
Oh, it's really dark, isn't it? Struggling here, man. Let's see if we can get this a bit lighter. Oh, that's maybe a bit too bright now. That was too bright. Right. Well, it's good, people. So it's the day after. I realised that I forgot to do an outro to that video. So we've actually just finished training pool, but you would have seen leg highlights. Hopefully the screen isn't too dark right now. You can actually see what's going on. I realised that I think the intro clip is really, really dark. So yeah, might need to get your night vision goggles out for that one. But I'm just going to round the video off by saying, hopefully you found some of those tips helpful. Hopefully you can take some value from that video. If you are looking for similar content, similar tips, whatever it might be, then do head to like my socials, my Instagram. I don't really use TikTok that much, but I do try and post on it every now and then. Or if you think that you could really use some help, I don't want to turn this into a coaching pitch, but the link for my coaching, my online coaching, will also be in the description somewhere. So socials, coaching, get involved if you want to get involved, don't get involved, whatever. And then hopefully I'll just see you in the next one. So hopefully that video was alright. See you later on.